Sunday is upon us once again. What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome back to my Let's Play of WWE 2K17, fighting Dolph Ziggler at the Royal Rumble with a -32 in this rivalry, but let's see if we can get out of this hole and win this match. And the rest of your Royal Rumble card is The Rock versus Brock, opening the show. No holds barred for the world title, which is weird. Rollins and Ambrose fight forever. Myself and Ziggler fight forever. The Usos versus Bubba Ray and Sin Cara, the dynamic tag team once again. Cesaro, Triple H, Kyria versus Kofi Kingston, and Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and the Royal Rumble match itself, where you see there, Bubba Ray pulling double duty in both a match in the tag team division and in the Royal Rumble itself. Brock Lesnar retains, Dean Ambrose wins, and I welcome you to this fine Sunday once again. It is 1 week until Wrestlemania, which is very exciting. Even if the build for Mania, the past couple of years has not been great. Like, I wouldn't say there's a whole lot going on this year that really feels like a Mania build. Like, outside of Shane going through the car window, not much has felt like different in any real way, or more significant. Now, granted, Owens and Jericho Festival of Friendship, that was pretty good. Like, to set up your Mania match, that was pretty good. But looking at all the part-time guys, there's not much of any real consequence. With, say, Triple H and Rollins feels kind of by the numbers, outside of the injury and whatever else. Taker and Roman feels really by the numbers. Even down to, hey, we're going to bring out Shawn Michaels to say, no, you shouldn't fight Taker, it's a bad idea because he retired me, type stuff, Goldberg and Brock feels just like, okay, sure, they're having Goldberg and Brock again, and that's great, and it has the belt, and that's whatever, but also, they're both part-timers, so the amount of times they're actually on the show, being able to have that match be promoted has been very few and far between, which is, annoying. Dolph Ziggler here has my number, apparently. It's a real damn shame. I'm getting my ass whipped here at the Royal Rumble. I'm not sure what happened. I've beaten Dolph before 1,000 times. Alexa Bliss threw a chair in the ring, because of course she did. I'm going to get counted out here if I'm not fucking careful. Or I'll have Dolph get counted out. Okay, sure. Best get back in the ring, boy. Or not. There we go. Clothesline. Yeah, so I don't know. It usually, even when they have a bad build, and they've certainly had them in the past several years, they somehow still manage to pull off a pretty good show. So, I'm not too worried about the quality of the show itself. But, again, we'll see. You got a bunch of part-timers doing a bunch of part-time stuff. Could not give a fuck less about the Cena match this year. Should have been Cena Taker, but no, they don't want to do that, so that's not the direction we're going in. And that's kind of the only real news story that I have here today, is that, whoa there, transitional animation, is that officials, high-ranking officials and whatnot, or, whatever you think of when you think of officials, shareholders, whatever, are very concerned about the health of the dead man, and that this might be his last match, because he was in a lot of pain at the Rumble, and he barely did anything at the Rumble. So that's concerning in, a number of ways, because it's not the ideal situation. Look, everybody has their time. Everyone has their bump card. You only bump so many times in your career, and then you're done, right? And the way it's always worked in wrestling, the tried and true method is that when you're done, you go out looking at the lights. You go out on your back, taking a pinfall for somebody who's a lot younger, and hopefully that little bit of, business will help them in their career, etc. Zigzag, etc. And that's worked. That has been a tried and true method for a number of years. However, by Dolph, However, the circumstance with this particular matchup and this particular potential retirement is not really going to help anybody involved. And I think even folks who would be inclined to cheer for Roman Reigns would not cheer him retiring The Undertaker. And again, if you had him as a heel, then all that could be kind of, played into in a certain extent. You could kind of tweak the character to where that makes a lot more sense. But where you're currently at, trying to push the big dog as the face of Raw and then having him retire The Undertaker, and you think that people are going to cheer that, that's not going to happen. -4 points. So this rivalry goes on another month. Dear God, I'm never going to stop fighting Dolph Ziggler. It's the Dolph Ziggler show. Usos win. Triple H wins, because of course he does. John Cena defends his IC title and retains against Daniel Bryan. And the winner of the Royal Rumble is Baron Corbin the winner here? I'm not sure how to read that. I guess Baron Corbin won the Rumble here? I'm not actually sure. It is perhaps wishful thinking on my part that I would be done with Dolph Ziggler, I would get to rank 3, and I will be able to challenge John Cena for WrestleMania, but I feel like the timing on that's not quite going to work out. And it's time for another promo that I'm sure will be interrupted by Dolph Ziggler. Rather than come out here and give a long, drawn-out exposition as to why I'm here, I'd rather just cut to the chase. You see, I'm not the type to talk about what I want. I'm the type of person who takes what I want, and that's exactly what I plan on doing. No yelling, no begging, no sitting around, waiting my turn. I'm taking what I deserve, and I'm doing it tonight. It's not going to let me challenge John Cena, so that's not going to work. Disrespectful crowd. And here's Dolph Ziggler, as predicted. What a surprise. Dolph's out here to ruin my damn promo. I might just punch him in the mouth. So the big man decided to grow a set and make a statement. Well, it had to happen sooner or later, so I suppose you're looking for a fight, huh? Well, be careful what you wish for, my friend, because once you head down this road, there is no going back. For a second, I thought someone actually important was going to come out and talk to me. You've got quite a set of grapefruits coming out here, interrupting me, and stepping into my ring. Whatever you say better be worth it, because I'm about 2 seconds from kicking your ass. The way I see it, I'm doing these people a favor. I'm sparing them from your petulant whining and posturing. If you don't seal that pie hole and stop spreading lies, I'm going to be forced to seal it for you. You have about 3 seconds to decide how you want to leave this ring. You can walk out, you can be carried out. It makes no difference to me. Alright, boy. Enough with the words. I'm going to give you exactly what you want. Let's make that match you and me, and let's see who backs it up. After all, I literally just beat you the night before at the Royal Rumble. Dolph, what are you talking about? You can say whatever you want, but you can't just demand a match. We just had one. You haven't earned the right to face me. Again. Hell, you don't even deserve to shine my boots, much less face me in the ring. You need to prove yourself before I decide you're worth my time again. For the 40th time. Was that a challenge or a dodge? It sounded more like a political speech with those verbal gymnastics. Let me make things super clear for you. I want a match whether you like it or not. We're going to fight, and I'm going to leave you on this mat staring at the lights, wondering why in the world you ever thought it was a good idea to challenge me. I mean, it wasn't my idea. It was Paul Heyman's idea. Dolph, who the hell do you think you are? You think I care what you want? You think I care what the universe wants? I'll decide when I think you've earned the right to face me, and judging by your actions, it won't be any time soon. I just can't take this anymore. If I just spend one more second listening to you and these pathetic fans, I'm gonna be sick. I'm getting the hell out of this poor excuse for a city and putting all this behind me as fast as I can. I'm doing my best to pretend that today never happened. And I won that promo. So I guess going back to my point on that Taker deal is that the irony there, or the funny part there, is it could be just about anybody else, and you'd have a better time with fans' reactions to it. Like, as much as I think they've perhaps pushed Braun Strowman a little bit too fast, and granted, they've been doing a really good job with Braun, and I remember when last year, the rumor was they were going to have Taker and Braun, and everyone's like, no, fuck that. That sounds like a terrible idea. Whereas this year, that would have been a much better idea. And I think, it's too early in his career to have him retiring guys like Taker, but I think he's a heel, and you can make it work. There are ways to play into that, and while it's not, the most ideal situation in the world, I think it's a better situation than having him lose and get retired by Roman Reigns. And granted, Roman Reigns, long term, is probably more money than Braun Strowman. I get that. But right now, the reaction around him is so toxic, and especially at a show where you have so much of an audience that is an international audience, so much of an audience that is paying, $3,000-$4,000 for seats. That's the audience who's not going to cheer Roman Reigns. And you get around that a little bit by being in an open-air stadium, because it's going to be way worse at, any kind of a arena with that kind of crowd, that kind of crowd that has a roof, because then it just will echo all through there. And as much as Kevin Dunn would like to be able to, turn down the crowd audio on that, and they were definitely doing that at last Mania. They were just like, hey, here's Roman, and it's just like, turn it all the way down so you can't, all you hear is the music, can't hear the booze at all. It's real bad. So I would imagine that it'd be a similar situation this year, especially against Taker, who people are going to cheer for regardless because he's a goddamn legend. That's kind of how it works. So, again, it's just kind of a bad situation all around. It's just kind of not ideal for anybody. And as much as I would like them to have kind of a Bret Hart, Stone Cold turn situation there, I just don't see it happening. Like, I just don't... Not that I don't think they wouldn't have the talent to pull it off, because I think that, that's certainly a viable thing that could be done. I think that Vince, at this point, is so damn stubborn, he refuses to give up on the face that runs the place, Roman Reigns. And another pedigree for good measure. Boom! But at the end of the day, Vince is going to do what Vince wants to do. And I'm going to fight Seth again tomorrow on Move Set Monday. Perhaps a t-shirt change as well. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos every day, and I'll see you next time right here on this channel. And I'm out.